Hey guys, Gray here with another Destiny 2 video, and today I kind of wanted to shift gears a little bit and talk about a really cool PvE build that I've been messing around with lately. I've seen a lot of hype surrounding the Warmind Cells and some of the seasonal mods available in Season of the Worthy lately, and I wanted to dive in and check it out for myself, and I wanted to share some of my findings and what I've learned about some of the builds that you can make. I'm going to be talking about one build that I put together in particular that I found to be really powerful in this video, but there's a lot of other mods that involve the Warmind Cells and a ton of other builds you can do as well. This one just stood out to me and it's been a lot of fun. So if this information helps you out, please leave a like below and smash that subscribe button for me. The amount of support I've gotten on the channel lately has been tremendous. Really, it's been amazing. We've been getting a lot of momentum with some of the videos I've been putting out. I know I typically do PvP stuff, but I've been seeing a lot of excitement about this, so I wanted to try it out, and it turned out to be really cool, and you can use it across all sorts of different activities, which is kind of cool. I've got some gameplay here of me using it on the Seraph Towers event. I was farming a Mindbender shotgun with it. I was doing the Menagerie the other day, just trying out this build in different places. So I'm going to show some clips here, some gameplay. Sorry if it's a little all over the place. I wanted to showcase this build can do a lot. So I'm going to be hopping around a little bit, showing different clips and talking about it. But without that, let's dive into the build and see what it's all about. So originally this build started out because I saw on Twitter somewhere that recently, with the Moon Bunker opening up, we gained access to a mod called the Wrath of Rasputin. And this mod, it's a seasonal mod. You need to have either a Season of the Dawn season slot or a Season of the Worthy slot on your armor to equip these. And you can get them from the Seraph Tower events as well as all of the Rasputin bunkers are where you're going to find these mods. But this one came to us with the Moon Bunker, and it's Wrath of Rasputin. It says solar splash damage final blows have a chance to create Warmind Cells. And that has a lot of interesting implications across Destiny, especially when you pair it with something like Sunshot. This thing, if you guys don't know, the Sunshot is a 150 RPM hand cannon. It's an exotic hand cannon, and it does tons of solar splash damage, and every time you kill a target, regardless of if it's a precision blow or not, they explode. It's like Dragonfly, but it doesn't have to be a precision hit. They just explode, and it hits targets with that explosion, and they can chain and explode, and it's really fun to use with itself. But now you throw that Wrath of Rasputin mod on, and you can start to create these Warmind Cells. And so once we figured that out, we had to see what we could do with the Warmind Cells. With other mods can we pair with this to make our Warmind Cells work for us? And the first thing we want to look at is the Burning Cells mod. Again, it's another seasonal mod. It's right here, Burning Cells. Destroying a Warmind Cell creates a burst of solar energy that causes enemies to burn for several seconds. Now we can use our Warmind Cells to do something. So when they spawn, you can blow them up with Sunshot. It's going to do that solar explosion, and that solar explosion again has a chance to spawn more Warmind Cells. So you immediately get a little bit of synergy there going for you. And then we take it one step further with another mod called Rage of the Warmind. Again, these are all found from the Seraph Tower events. You can get them from the bunkers. They're not hard to get your hands on. You can go pick them up right now and throw something together like this. But Rage of the Warmind states it adds additional solar damage to the explosions of the Warmind Cells. So now they're going to start doing a lot of damage. And when you blow them up, it's going to hit. It has a massive radius. I was doing some quick testing on it, and the explosion goes about 25 to 30 meters, anywhere in there, depending on where the Warmind Cell is laying. And it's ridiculous. I mean, you can clear tons of rooms. I'm sure you can see in some of the gameplay I'm showing. I'm just wiping out entire waves of mobs with one Warmind Cell. It's like, it feels like you're breaking the game when you're using these. It's really cool. So I want to talk about one other thing, because the first problem I noticed when I was running it is that I wasn't able to get the Warmind Cells to spawn reliably. The splash damage from the Sunshot, it's not hard to pull off, but the chance of the cell spawning is pretty low, it seems. And I think personally that it changes based on the activity. I was running a Nightfall. You can see it here. I was grinding for the Mindbender's Ambition. And while I was doing that, it seemed like I couldn't get the cells to spawn. Maybe because it was a Nightfall, maybe it was weighted against me a little bit. So I wanted to find another way to do that. So I started looking for some other mods that might help me out, and it didn't seem like any of the other Rasputin mods were going to do the trick. But if you look here on the seasonal artifact, there's a couple things in here that I was unaware of. When I first started, I was trying an all solar build. I was playing Solar Titan, trying to get as much solar splash damage as I could to spawn Warmind Cells. And then I realized if you come here, you look at this mod right here, Tyrant's Surge. Again, this one states dealing damage with arc melee, super, and grenade abilities spawns a Warmind Cell. Almost every time. There's a little bit of an internal cooldown. It might be like 5 or 6 seconds, but if you use your ability, it spawns a Warmind Cell, almost guaranteed, if you can time it right. And knowing that, it completely flipped the build on its head. I ended up using Top Tree Striker. I'll talk about that in a little bit. But you also pair it with this other artifact mod, Lightning Strikes Twice. And after throwing an arc grenade, you gain increased grenade recharge for a short time. Arc final blows extend the duration of this benefit. That's what drew me to Top Tree Striker, because it has 2 grenades. We're going to take a look at that real quick. Obviously, you know, it has the shoulder charge on Top Tree Striker, which is beneficial, again, because the melee is also going to spawn a Warmind Cell, and we're doing something else that makes it even stronger we'll get into. But like I said, the most important thing was getting that additional grenade right here, because you have 2 procs of your Warmind Cells guaranteed using that. It's really cool. I was surprised at how well it came together just by switching to an arc subclass. And with that shoulder charge, like I was talking about, we're using, again, I know I love the Dune Marchers. Everyone probably thinks I'm in love with the Dune Marchers, but they work really good for this. And if you're using shoulder charge, you can shoulder charge in, you're going to hit a guy, spawn a Warmind Cell, AoE, and kill all the mobs, and have a cell waiting for like the next wave of enemies, or the next enemy that spawns. You already have one waiting. And you just start to turn into this monster where you can be spawning Warmind Cells, you have shoulder charge, 2 grenades, your Dune Marchers effect, and your super also spawns the Warmind Cells too, as you can see in some of the gameplay. So once I started finding out these synergies, this build got extremely powerful. So I know I've been going on a little bit about this build. I'll give you a kind of a straight breakdown. There's some restrictions you have to kind of follow depending on if you want to use an exotic armor piece or not. At most, you're only going to have access to a total of 5 of these seasonal mods at any given time, 4 most likely if you're using an exotic. So you kind of have to be aware of that, and it does present some limitations. But on my helmet, I have the Tyrant Surge mod that is from our artifact, Burning Cells on the arms, Rage of the Warmind on my chest, and Wrath of Rasputin on the class item, as well as Lightning Strikes Twice. If I wasn't using the Dune Marchers, it would actually be kind of nice, because there's another mod called Global Reach, and that expands the radius of your Warmind Cells. It makes them go even further, which is ridiculous. I mean, it's extremely powerful, and you could totally do that. It's like you don't even need to run an exotic when you're using a build like this. But I like the utility that it provides. If my stuff is on cooldown, I can still kill a pack of mobs just with Dune Marchers and my melee alone. So it's nice to have in case you're getting unlucky, because it is still a little bit of RNG with the Warmind Cells if you don't have anything off cooldown. So like you can see in the background gameplay, it's, you know, I can throw a grenade into a pack of mobs, I can spawn 1 cell and completely annihilate the entire pack. Like I said, it goes almost 30 meters with the explosion. It's very powerful for taking out waves, and something I would consider if you're going to take this into an activity like the Seraph Towers or Mindbenders, where the boss spawns waves of enemies. It's really beneficial for that. It's a little harder to pull off on a single target if you're fighting a boss, but that's why I wanted to use Tyrant Surge, so you could reliably be proccing those Warmind Cells. They do a lot of damage. I mean, if the enemy is tethered in one of these shots right here, you can see it does like 30,000 damage just from one Warmind Cell, and it kind of breaks it up. There's like the explosion and then the additional solar damage from Rage of the Warmind, and they do a ton of damage, so it's nice to be able to reliably proc them. So I hope this build helps you out. I know there's a lot more to dive into with these Warmind Cells. There's actually a few mods we don't have access to in the IO bunker, so it could get even crazier. But I wanted to share this with you guys. There's been a lot of hype about these, and they're really powerful. They replace some of those more cookie cutter PvE builds, and definitely don't sleep on these. They're really fun to mess around with, and I hope you enjoy the video, and I hope you try out some of these mods. Let me know what you think. I know this is kind of a different style of video. I want your feedback. Do you guys like seeing these PvE videos? Would you rather I stick to more PvP stuff? I want your opinion, so let me know if this helps you out, and if you want to see more, because I have some other Warmind Cell builds I could throw together too. So let me know. Again, thank you for checking out the video. I hope it's a fun build for you to use. Take care. Bye-bye.